I mean, if you want my real opinion, the idea of the resume altogether is archaic and should be abolished. But that's a topic for another day. My name is Oz Rashid. I'm the CEO and founder of MSH Talent and Technology Solutions. Today we're going to talk about resume red flags. Having seen tens of thousands of resumes throughout my career and talking with different clients and candidates about what they like and what they don't like, I'd like to think I have a pretty unique perspective on what works in a resume and what doesn't work in a resume. Some of the things that I think have been some of the long-standing red flags that people think about are when you see a lot of hopping in somebody's career or short stints. But I think that's starting to change and evolve because we're living in a gig economy where many people are taking consulting roles that are shorter gigs. Many people are having higher expectations of how their employers treat them and looking for better work. And a lot of times there can be really good and valid reasons for having shorter terms. So I don't necessarily think that's the red flag it's been in the past. I also think grammar and formatting and vocabulary being used in a resume incorrectly. I think because of technology, with spell check, with grammar check, and all those different things, those are things that are no longer things that you typically see in a resume as being issues. So what are the red flags? When I think of a red flag, I look at, there's a traditional thought that you should have a one-page resume. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think that if you have a 6 or 7-page resume, that can definitely be a turnoff for a lot of reasons. Number one, we live in a society where our attention to things is very waning and can go quickly. Not many people are going to go through a 6 and 7-page resume and truly understand what you're doing. It also shows that you're not necessarily customizing your resume for the role that you're applying for or the type of role that you want. So what I would do is I would be very concise, 2 to 3 pages max, capturing what you do throughout your career. That's probably the right length. If you're too long, you might not even get people to get all the way through the resume, and they might turn you down outright. So that's something I would definitely look at as a potential red flag. The second red flag that really stands out to me is if your resume lacks data. Data is a great way to quantifiably show the type of success you've had within a career. So whether it's saved the company $3 million here or grew this by X percentage, that's a really easy way for no matter who's looking at your resume, whether it's somebody in HR, a recruiter, a hiring manager, to get a real tangible understanding of how you've created a positive impact in your role. So finding the right data points to intersperse throughout your different bullet points of the different jobs you've had can be a really, really good thing. And when you don't put it there, it can definitely be a red flag that maybe they haven't affected a lot of positive change, or maybe they haven't been able to quantify it from a numerical perspective. And last but not least, typically when you're looking at a resume, you want to see ascension in somebody's career. The hope is that somebody is growing from position to position and growing in their career. Now, that's not always a hard and fast rule. This is why it's always important to talk to the candidate, understand their journey, understand their story. A lot of times there can be very legitimate reasons for why they may have taken a step back or gone into a different career altogether. But if you're not ascending in your career, and in fact you're going backwards in your career, that can also say something too. So if you're a candidate, you want to make sure that you have your story down on why you've made the decisions you have throughout your career, and you certainly want to make sure that you can reflect that in your resume as much as possible. So those are some of the things that I think are red flags when it comes to a resume. But I'm interested in what you think red flags are. Please leave us comments and let us know what you think, and thanks for spending a couple minutes with us.